Happy Friday. Welcome, 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 guys. We are here for our wealth building mastermind call. So, welcome, my favorite call every single week. I am going to continue to kind of manage the waiting room as people are still signing in here. And as we do this, guys, I would like to start, as always, with the wins for the week. Who has some good things going on right now that they want to share? I am super excited about my boy Adonis coming and sharing more about the smart money blueprint with you guys today and the different ways that we can leverage that and do this. But before we get into that, we're going to start with our 3 wins for the week, as always. So, who has something good that they want to share? Who has some good stuff going on?
Good morning, Larry. This is Frida. How are you?
Larry, thank you for the call yesterday with Canvas. She's coming on, team leader from Keller Williams and a MAPS coach with 275 people in her profit share. Been talking to for years, and that call yesterday put her over the top. So thank you.
One call with me. That's all it took, Keith. Like, I'm telling you guys, put me in, coach. I am ready. Like, let me play here, right?
And she said, if you're going to make me talk to that guy again, stop it. I'll just join.
Right? Hey, look, whether we have to beat them, drag them, it doesn't matter, right? But no, we're really excited.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely, man. We're going to have a lot of fun and build a lot of cool things and stuff with that as well. So that was a huge win. And she's been emailing me all morning here as well. So really, really cool to have that. And I think that's going to do a lot, especially for our Denver metro area as well. All right. So good win to start off there. Who has the second win for us?
I do. This is good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. What do you got for us?
Supporting the Army today.
I'm sorry. You broke supporting Army today. Yes.
Yes. I said supporting the Army today. Well, my win is I have a customer that I'm putting his house on and is interested in purchasing the house. So that's awesome. So maybe I don't even have to go find a buyer for his property.
That works out beautifully. So I hope all of that works out. Regardless, we got deals in the pipeline, right? And we just got to keep stacking it in. But that is wonderful news. Congratulations on that over there, Frida. Beautiful.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Who has the third win for today to round us out so we can start jumping into our call here? Who has our third win for today?
I do. Rick Stein.
Rick, talk to me, man. What you got going on over there?
Well, here in the heart of Texas, I had a REO. It was a single wide mobile home that hadn't seen care in, I think, since Roosevelt was here. And it was a very, very difficult sale. It was on the market a long time. Their original price, the bank doesn't know what they're doing, was 2.25. I sold it for 110. And but we closed. Thank God. And I just drove away, took my sign, lit a celebratory cigar, and never have to look at it again. So we closed. Thank God.
Yes, and I there's a lot of people laughing because I think there's a lot of people on this call that have had similar situations, right? With overpriced, like maybe it wasn't the easiest asset manager or just not the easiest transaction. So congratulations on that, Rick.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, guys. Well, let's jump into things. My man, Adonis, how are you doing today, sir?
Doing well, man. Doing well. Excited to be here and be part of everything you got going on. I've been a big fan, so just happy to be here.
Yeah, then that's the cool part, right? Because the feeling's really mutual to watch your journey, to watch everything that you've built, and more importantly, right, like the ability for you to share that with others, to be able to help other people further their opportunities, right? Drive more business. be able to solve more problems for clients and stuff like that. So before we actually get into the smart money blueprint, right? I think it was about last year, right? We actually partnered with Lockett Homes. We actually brought them into the fold. And I mean, they are such a busy group. We haven't really even got all of our bearings around the ways to leverage everything, which is a blessing and a curse, right? It's great that we're
Right.
busy and have a lot of things going on, but we haven't even scratched the surface yet. So why don't you do everybody a favor? Just give us like a little elevator speech. Who in the hell is Adonis Lockett? Where did this guy come from? Give us a little background.
So before we kick off, Larry, is it okay if I record this? My Fathom was kicked out.
Yep. Try and send it back in. Otherwise, I can have Kathy send you over. It is being recorded, and
Okay,
Kathy will send you over the recording, and
let's do that.
you can edit it and do anything that you need to on
All right,
that side.
that'll work. Okay. So little bit about me. My background is electrical mechanical engineering. And then I was the classic example, guy who loved what I did. I did testing and theory analysis for the rocket propulsion system of missiles. Got kicked out of, I got ran out of corporate America. Classic story. Launched my real estate investment company, and for the last 16 years, just been growing it to a national presence with multiple verticals, all of which have led me to kind of what we're going to be discussing today. So I am everything real estate investing. I have sat in literally every single seat in every single company I've built, every organization from the ground up. With literally, I wrote the SOP for every business. And my thing I've learned was that processes make the world go round. But probably I'm the best and worst example of, I literally have done 17 years of building a national organization trial by error. And there's one thing people always ask me, if there was one thing I could do different. I don't have a lot of regrets, but I would have taken on mentorship early in the process. So me talking to everyone here is to kind of let everyone know, just see what 17 years in the trenches and the weeds actually, what it culminates to. And that's what we're talking about today.
Yes, and that's the beautiful part of this wealth building mastermind, right? I talk about this with my son, right, who's his football team in Texas, and football in Texas is a big deal, right?
Right.
His team's been undefeated for 4 years. They've won the turf bowl for 4 years in a row, right? And I tell him he has a private running back coach that played in college, that had played in the NFL, right? Like similar when I was playing sports, I did it by like, damn, don't do that, right? You're gonna get you're gonna get crushed. And
Right.
when you learn from somebody else that has played at such a high level, and that's why we bring players like Adonis and other huge players onto this call, because you can learn from somebody else that has done the things that you want to do, that has already been there and seen that. You may not hit it flawlessly, but instead of it taking 17 years, maybe it takes you 7 years. Maybe it takes you 3 years. It depends how easy you follow the system, right? A lot of people try and interject themselves and, oh, I'm going to take this part, but not this part. And then you learn that lesson, right? Like this is where, when you get the roadmap, guys, this is why we build your business plan. Follow the damn plan every single day, because that's why we designed it, so that we know that it works. So, brother, you should be able to go ahead and share your screen, and you can go ahead and kick us off, and then I will manage the chat. I will reach out if people have questions, or you interact and run this however you see fit.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen, and what I'll do is I'll have everyone just keep their questions to the end, because we have a lot of information to cover. So I would, and then but what I'll do is I'll try to make it where we have a good amount of time to go through Q&A. So I want to make sure everyone has the opportunity to get questions asked and all that good jazz. All right, my first question is, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, sir. You're good to go.
Perfect. So what I'm going to be speaking with everyone about today is the Smart Money Blueprint, which is the newest real estate investing strategy. And so I'm gonna ask, what I love about doing this, especially with real estate agents, I want you guys to have questions prepared, and I want you guys to poke holes in everything that I'm about to say, So this way, at the end of the conversation, the same questions or kind of reservations you have, other people will have. And I love having this be an open forum, so we're all on the same page about what like concept actually looks like. But what we're talking about is truly the newest real estate investing strategy. So just a little bit of background about me. Um, Whoops, sorry about that. I got my degree in electrical mechanical engineering. I ended up moving to Dallas, Texas in 2009 as a rocket propulsion test engineer, left corporate, and since leaving corporate, I've opened up 12 offices in 9 states. I own a real estate brokerage, currently under Larry. That's how Larry and I connected. I own a mortgage brokerage, a real estate fix and flip firm, a wholesale company, a real estate holding company, a property management company. I own a private equity fund raising $100 million for my private lending company, L&H Capital, which we do loans for real estate investors nationwide. I created an education series, and this is what we're talking about. I've also created a real estate tech platform called MyR360, which aggregates education, vendors, deals, and processes in a single platform to allow people in real estate investing to get the resources they need. Personally, I have participated in over 10,000 private money loans nationwide. I have personally wholesaled over 300 houses. I own 68 rental properties in Dallas, and I have purchased 3 apartment complexes. All of these things I have done as a single individual. I don't have a team structure or partnerships. This is me as a solo act. As much as it is praise, I kind of wish I would have went a different journey sometimes. But I say I say all of that to say every single aspect of real estate investing I have done. Every strategy, every process, every win, every loss. And what I've learned is that in all of my business units and all of my offices, brokering private money loans make more than all my business units and all my offices combined. And this is where I said, this needs to be the focus of my business. And when I realized how easy it was to create a revenue vertical, I said, this needs to be the focus of everyone's business to some capacity. So that's kind of, what got me here. Just really spreading the word about the best kept secret and kind of what we're going to jump into. So just real quick, left corporate in 2011, started selling houses 2012. Started referring the houses I couldn't sell to real estate agents. Real estate agents, kind of sullied the experience for my clients. Launched my brokerage in 2012. Got real good at flipping houses to the point where the wholesalers were taking all the meat off the bones. So in 2013, I started wholesaling just because I just got real good at buying properties. 2014. These buyers are starting to fall out, so I referred them over to my trusted lender. So in 2014, I started speaking at conferences. Was speaking at a conference, and I was telling everyone I got this vertical of flipping houses, referring people over to my real estate brokerage, and then how I'm connecting them to my lender, and these deals are closing. It's a solid process. And then someone asked me, "Well, how much money do you get paid when you refer the customer over to your lender?" I said, I don't know what you mean, because in conventional lending, it's illegal to get a kickback from your lender. They're like, right. But in the private sector, it's one of the biggest strategies in the business. So I said, okay. I called my hard money lender and I said, hey, man, I've referred you over like 8 or 9 deals. Why haven't you paid me? And his response was, you didn't ask. So lo and behold, I found out that I was leaving a lot of money on the table. So I asked him to start paying me for referrals. Sent them over my next wholesale deal. We closed the deal. I got paid. It was amazing. Next wholesale deal, got paid. It was amazing. He calls me a month later, like, hey, man, I need your wire instructions. I'm like, why? I haven't done a deal. He said, right, but the person you referred me 2 months ago or a month ago, they just closed. So we agreed I would pay you on every referral. So I need your wire instructions. And he paid me. Called me 2 weeks later, paid me for a previous referral. And I said, so I called him back. I said, hey, man, just so I'm clear, every single person I send you, I'm going to get paid on. He said, absolutely. I said, okay. For the next 2 days, I made 52 phone calls, and over that, for the following 41 days, I closed 9 loans over making 52 phone calls over 2 days. And I realized that this is the easiest, best kept secret in real estate investing. So I made that the center point of my entire business. I opened 6 offices in 1 year using this strategy because it was the easiest to replicate. It was the easiest to scale. And since then, I've made broker and private loans my primary vertical, and everything else kind of expands from there. 2017, I became a direct lender, got hitched up with 7 or 8 hedge funds, really understood how the money worked. 2023, launched my own private equity fund, raising $100 million so that I could be a self-sufficient private lender. I'm telling everyone this because I started out in the business as an engineer. And now I realize that for anyone who doesn't know this statement, the highest demand in real estate is not real estate. The highest demand thing in real estate is money. And in real estate, the money is not in the real estate. The money is in the money. And no one ever told me that until I got behind the scenes to see how much, probably more importantly, how easy it is to make money in real estate. And I want to pause all this to say $500 million funded as of 2 years ago. I broke $700 million funded, and not $1 of it was my own money. Not $1, but I have funded over $700 million. Just to kind of give everyone context of what I mean when I say it's the easiest thing that exists in our space, right? So this, whoops, sorry about that. The Smart Money Blueprint teaches real estate agents how to initiate, evaluate, and broker private money loans. It's a step-by-step guide for every aspect of the process. On-demand education, weekly virtual calls, in-person masterminds. I mean, literally, whoops, Larry, you keep you keep talking, it keeps popping up. Gives direct access to private money lenders nationwide of all types, and it teaches real estate agents how to make money doing what you do every day. I want everyone on this call, while I'm going through every single slide, I want you to think about this. How many of your customers have you referred over to a lender, right? How many of them have paid you? And if you have referred one customer to a lender, especially in the private sector, and have not been paid, I'm telling you, you have left hundreds, if not millions of dollars of money on the table for a concept you don't know. Now, I'm not talking about those of you who work in the conventional side. This does not apply for the conventional side of real estate. This is for the private sector of real estate. This is for real estate investing. So this only applies for if you're working with investors or people who have bought properties that they do not live in, right? But I want you to ask yourself, how many investors, how many people who have properties that they're not living in that you sent over that you have not gotten paid for? That's the concept that you are missing. And if you don't know that you should have been getting paid, you are leaving a lot of money on the table. For those who don't know what private and hard money is, it's asset-based financing. We provide money, private lending sector provides money for purchasing the real estate and for the renovation of real estate fix and flip properties. We provide money for new construction. We provide money for new apartment developments, high rises. I mean, I've funded deals from 50,000 to 75 million. And one thing I also want to make sure everyone is aware, when you hear cash buyers, 95% of cash buyers are not real cash buyers. 95% of cash buyers use money from guys like me. But the cool thing is that because of how few requirements we have to deploy capital, our borrowers present their deals as cash. So 9 of 10 deals where there are cash offers, they're actually not cash offers. They're being funded by guys like me. The cool thing is also in the private sector, we have built this out where investors who have rental properties, we can actually give them 30-year fixed rate loans for people who have rental properties. No tax returns, no W-2s, no pay stubs, no DTI requirements, no income verification. 2 requirements. If the rental property makes 20% more than the PITI payment, and you have a 660 credit score, we can give you a loan as a landlord. There is no cap on the number of landlord loans that you can get as an investor, whereas with the conventional route, you cap at 10. Another cool thing is that none of those mortgages show up on your credit report. So those 68 rental houses that I told you I have 68 mortgages on 68 rental properties that do not show up on my credit. And what that means is that when I apply for anything, I have a $23 million net worth on paper, because when you run my credit, you see the properties, but you don't see the mortgages against them. So on paper, I am as pristine as you can ever want. That also means that anything that happens to these properties, it does not impact my personal credit. does not prohibit me. I can literally buy a rental property in 10 days with no documentation, with a 660 credit score, as long as it makes 20% more. I bought my 68 properties not over 17 years. I bought 50 of them in a 2.5 year span. When you understand how the money works, you know how to leverage it for you and your customers' benefit. That's why private and hard money is so important, because if you don't know about how the ways it can be taken advantage of, you are literally leaving a lot of opportunities on the table. Okay. When does broker and private money loans apply? Very simply, if you've ever referred someone to a lender, that's when it applies. Anyone who's fixing a property, rental properties, Airbnbs, new construction, commercial, retail, land development. If you've ever spoken to someone who is buying an investment property or have a rental property, it applies to them and it applies to you, because you had the ability to secure a customer and you just didn't know it, right? So when I started explaining this concept, I get a lot of, why would I go about brokering money? I'm not in the lending space. I'm a realtor, right? Well, one, it is the lowest barrier of entry into any real estate investing strategy. Everyone keeps hearing wholesaling as the lowest barrier of entry. It's not. Wholesaling is the least expensive. Wholesaling is brutal and it is grueling. I have personally wholesaled hundreds of houses, and every single one of them was a headbeat, constant negotiations. And the reason why people fancy that as the easiest way, only because it is the least expensive. The cool thing about broker and private money is you don't have to change what you do day to day. Your current day-to-day business can stay exactly as it is. You can literally create a revenue vertical doing exactly what you do every single day, right? It teaches you, not only does it allow you to create a revenue vertical, it teaches you how to break into the investment side of real estate. I want to pause and make this statement. It's a controversial statement, but I'm going to say it. For the most experienced real estate agent, if you have not worked with investors, real estate investing is a completely different industry than consumer real estate. It is a completely different industry on the lending side, and is a completely different industry on the buying side. And what the most seasoned realtors and loan officers constantly confuse is that 20 years in the business and consumer lending or consumer real estate, it is not a one-for-one translation. Probably maybe about 15% of what you do applies to the private sector. It is a completely different industry with its own language, own strategies, own processes, right? So it teaches you how to break into that side of the business. But the cool thing is that we also show you how to position your realtor services to get customers that you funded to use your service. So we show you how, if you're going to be brokering loans for these investors, we show you how to position yourself to be the buyer's agent on the next deal, to be the listing agent for the project. We show you how you can make more money with this concept with infinitely less effort. And we show you how you can take your network, local, statewide, or national, and flip everyone you know into a potential customer. The concept is so broad sweeping and so simple. We've just put it in a way that makes it easy to deploy in a very crystal clear way for you to kind of integrate it. So I want to make sure we're all on the same page. This is a simple concept. Get paid for making introductions. I want to also emphasize, a simple concept does not mean an easy business. I want to make sure all of you understand. Do not confuse a simple concept for an easy business, because even the sharpest people in our space, for those of you, and Larry told me about a lot of you on this call who are really high performers, when you're new to a space, people know that you're new to a space. There is an art and a craft and a very specific business model that goes into converting customers to money. Real estate investors are not dumb. They are heavily researched. And more importantly, there are certain things that you need to and not to say to them to land their business. So it is important that we understand that a simple concept should not be confused for an easy business. The cool thing about this concept of brokering private money loans is you can pick your path. If you want to do it passively, and what I mean by passively is that you can literally make an introduction, walk away, and get paid. Literally that simple. Make a simple introduction, get paid, and walk away. Some people like to be more hands-on and where you're active in the process, where you're actually talking to borrowers, you're qualifying the deal, you're collecting documentation, you're collecting information. When you're actively involved in the process, this is how you truly learn the business. If you're passively involved, this is how you want to leverage your network, but not deviate from what you're doing. There is no right or wrong way. There's no, you pick what best accommodates your situation, and we build a model around that specifically. So, who does this apply for? Who is the Smart Money Blueprint for? If you are a new or experienced real estate investor, Smart Money Blueprint will allow you to learn the business from experienced investors. It allows you to learn the risk associated with each deal, and it teaches you how to get paid in the process. So, if you're new or even an active real estate investor, you learn the business from the investors. You learn the most sophisticated investor strategy, what they did, how they did it. Then you learn the risk of each deal from the lender. When you take a step back, you're learning from people who are 10, 15 years in the business, what makes the deal great. You're learning from the people who have the most to lose, the lenders. And when you take a step back, you're learning on someone else's time, on someone else's dime, right? You learn everything about the business, terms, acronyms, definitions, the roles that come with private lending, the types of loans, the investor strategies. You get to learn from the most sophisticated people how they became the most successful real estate investors in their market. And the cool thing about it is you're learning a business from the person who has everything to gain, the person who has everything to lose, and it's not costing you $1 to learn that business, and you're getting paid to do it. Real estate agents and brokers, you get to leverage customers previously into this new vertical. Everyone in your network is a potential customer. You literally get paid for making a referral to a trusted source from you as a trusted source. You get to learn, you get to create revenue vertical without ever walking houses, negotiating contracts, to a network, to a community, to a following that already trusts and respects you. So for you, it's as simple as it was for me. A simple phone call creates a customer. Not only that, you get to learn the different loan programs that exist. So in understanding the different loan programs, you will now be able to learn how to specifically speak to the people doing land development, new construction, who are doing these large fix and flip projects. When you understand the mechanics of a loan, you know how to speak to these investors to draw their interest, and this is how you land their business. Real estate investors and wholesalers, we teach them how to convert their existing network, how to create a revenue channel without tying up cash, how to make income with no financial risk. We show them how to create a massive income without tying up their own money, because again, for every dollar I've lent, not $1 of it was mine. It was a simple leveraging of relationships. Loan officers and mortgage brokers, we show them how to build a business, never turning down a customer from a declined loan, how to expand their product offerings and expand into the private lending. So essentially, we teach loan officers how to leverage every declined loan into a full commission. CEOs and business owners, these are people who have massive networks, large influences, but don't have a lot of time. We show them, we create a plan for them on how to leverage high value relationships via referrals. We provide a support team with them to handle referrals on their behalf and monetize years of work into a simple referral model. We show them how to make every relationship earn them income. General contractors, just the same. Strategically making customers into clients, how to convert all previous customer relationships and transition from a service provider to a funding source. GCs, licensed persons, we show them how to take previous customers and make them current clients, right? And finally, the Smart Money Blueprint is for everyone. It doesn't matter where you are, who you are, what you're doing. It applies to you, because if you want to get into real estate, this is how you get into in real estate, learning without the risk. If you're in real estate, this is how you create a vertical without deviating from what you're doing, but just by flipping your existing network, just by doing what we do every single day. We cannot wait to refer someone to a trusted source. This shows you how to make it a structured, functioning business that, if done right, will go on autopilot and start paying for itself and start bringing in its own customers without your direct involvement. Your potential customers is literally everyone in our space: investors, wholesalers, agents, general contractors. I see a typo there. I'm gonna lose sleep about that. Subcontractors, conventional lenders, hard money lenders, title companies, home inspectors, insurance. Literally, if they're in real estate or a service provider, think about this. You don't have to be the source or the person that finds your customer. You can literally ask everyone else who deals with investors, send me a referral. We show you how to make that a structured model and make it make sense for you. And one of the ways we do that right out the gate is by show you how investors, they don't want to be pitched on products. They want to have solutions offered, not products. We show you how to ask questions, understand their model, offer solutions and which will secure their confidence and earn their business. And let me be crystal clear. For any one of you who has brokered a loan before, it doesn't matter what you are offering, what terms or what lender you're connecting with them. If you're pitching a product, you will lose to me every single time, because while you're pitching interest rate, leverage, and fees, I'm sitting down with the customer talking to how by us saving them $100,000 out of their pocket, we're going to be able to double their volume. We're going to be able to offset their financial obligation. We're going to be able to keep more cash in their pocket, more reserves in their pocket, which in turn will allow them to make more in their make more in their deal, which allows them to do more volume. So while you're talking about 12% and points in this, I'm talking about how I'm going to double and triple your volume. These are the things that we're going to show you what to do. And just so we're all on the same page, the concept is simple. But if you don't know to offer solutions where you're pitching loan products, this is where your best customers, the people who respect you the most, who you know is going to be your first, second, fifth customer, you're going to lose them to the person who is doing the job right, who's been doing it for 17 years to know products don't win, solutions do. These are the type of tricks of the trade that you may never think about that you're going to learn right out the gate. So the cool thing is the Smart Money Blueprint has a customized plan for new real estate agents to the most seasoned. First, we establish your business, right? And what I mean is establish your business. You tell us what your business is, what you're doing, how you're doing it. We're then going to build a customized plan of action specific to you. Tell us what you're doing and let's figure out where we can drop in these strategies to create this vertical for you. We're going to create a process and a lead capture system that accommodates what you're doing day to day. We're going to do the market research to make sure we understand what is the private lending market doing in your local area, right? Because if you don't know what the market is doing, you cannot be offering solutions to a problem you don't know. So then we'll connect you with the proper capital partners that is going to provide the funding or the loan products for the solution you're offering the customers. We'll show you how to master your pitch, execute on contacting your clients. We're then going to build out a clear plan on how to expand your business. We're going to fine tune the process, implement processes for automation and growth, and then we're going to grow. Let me pause real quick. So a lot of, the curse of talking with really sharp people is that most of us, when we're hearing this, is like, done, I got it. And I'm going to tell you, I am, like, mind you, I have my degree, I'm, super smart guy, or at least I thought I was. And problem that I had was that I am the biggest advocate for once I hear this concept, I can go build it on my own. And I will tell you, for everything that you do for the first time, you are going to have the first time challenges. Anyone who's doing it for the fifth time, at some point, you're going to plateau out if you don't know how to grow out of the glass box. So the reason why we are so hands-on with even the most seasoned, experienced people, because at some point, this is going to transition into what's not your specialty. And when it's not your specialty, this is where you get into this rut of, man, I'm kind of spinning my wheels and not making traction. So that's why we're very dialed in to making sure we build out a plan that makes sense for where you are specifically. The resources that come with the Smart Money Blueprint, the online community, I cannot stress. What Larry has created here, we have created for our community. For brokers and private money, we have created the Private Money Broker Network that allows you to join the community and hear people going through the same thing you're going through, hear their successes, hear their challenges, hear their misfires, and you get to learn from the entire community everything that worked and everything that didn't. There's a Smart Start 30-day calendar where when we sit down with you and hear what you got going, we want you to have business in your pipeline first 30 days. We don't like to do professional students. We want you closing loans while you're learning the business. And that's why we provide so much support. Education volumes, you get 4 volumes of education, roughly about 9 to 10 hours each. It is full on 10 hours per education block. And we're in the process of making it where when you go through this education, it'll actually count for your hours, your annual required hours. We're actually making this part of the hours that are accredited for each year. So right now we're kicking this off in Texas, and we're trying to move this nationwide. Get a full content library, all the calls, meetings, everything. You get to listen in to everyone present example scenarios, and you get to learn from it. Broker Toolkit is literally your foundational information, broker agreements, documentation, template, script, strategies. You get a dedicated account executive with L&H Capital. Right out the gate, we don't want you to trial and error this. We want you to partner up with a private money lender who's going to walk you through each deal, who's going to get on the phone with your customers, walk them through, make sure you know how to navigate the conversation to land the business every time. We have daily strategy calls. We have weekly workshops. We have full day trainings happening every monthly. We're going to set you up in a loan origination software. We're doing 2-day full-on workshops on how to, if you're starting, we're going to show you how to get this thing built out, ready to go. If you're in your groove, we're going to show you how to scale. In-person masterminds, one-on-one calls with your customers, and one-on-one and group trainings. Your support system consists of 3 people. You get a strategy advisor, technical advisor, and a loan advisor, plus back office support. Your strategy advisor is going to make sure that strategically what you're doing is getting traction. Your technical advisor is going to be the person who's showing you how all these different loan programs work, how to move through them, how to operate. Your loan advisor is going to be the one who's moving your loans through the system. So even if you're still newer to the concept, your loan advisor is going to make sure your deals are moving so you're getting paid while you learn. You earn while you earn while you learn. Technical advisor is going to be making sure that you're landing the business while you're learning. Your strategy advisor is going to make sure that we're doing everything you need to do to get business in the door. Our resources are substantial. Jeffrey, who leads our virtual master classes, actually has different training specific to our audience. So you as a 20-year agent, you're not going to sit in the same training as someone who's new to real estate, a loan officer, a general contractor. Those concepts, the strategies, they don't align. So these different training classes, workshops are going to be very specific to each of our different user types, which means that when we hop on a call, we're getting right to, all right, tell us where you are. 10 years in the business, boom, let's get started. We need to bloom, 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 as opposed to a different demographic where let us explain what these terms and definitions are. So you get dedicated training calls, workshops specific to where you are in your career. So I'm going through this whole thing, right? And so I'm on stage presenting this, and so someone asked me from the crowd, well, how much money can I make? That's the first thing everyone always asks, how much money I make? I said, well, we just had someone who joined the program, and they made like $35,000, in their first 2 weeks. And from the audience, the guy yells, show me. I said, man, it's the wrong thing to say, considering that we funded that deal a week ago. So let me give you guys very straightforward exactly what I mean. I did that presentation. I was on stage August 4th. We funded this deal July 31st. The loan was a $3.7 million loan. It was a luxury new construction deal in Frisco, Texas, right? L&H Capital was the lender of record. And so this was based on a $3.7 million loan. So the guy bought the land for 1.5. He did a $2 million construction for a house that's worth $6 million. So his loan was for $3.7 million. So the guy, the member, the Smart Money Blueprint team member called me, said, Adonis, I got a customer. He is a builder. I'd like for you to talk to him. Not a problem. That call was 16 minutes. 16 minutes, the loan origination fee to L&H Capital, we ended up charging this builder 3 points, right? The reason why this builder paid 3 points was because we actually have a cool program where we roll in all the mortgage payments into the loan on a purchase. It is not a program that exists in the industry, but by only one other competitor who's based out on the East Coast. So we were able to charge this customer a premium. So we actually charged the member, Smart Money Blueprint team member, was able to get him to pay a higher interest rate since we had such a cool program. This took us 17 days to fund. The thing I want you all to take away from is that the broker who called us, who sat on that call for 16 minutes, made 1 point on that deal. In 17 minutes or 16 minutes in 17 days, our 3 points that we charged to the borrower, 1 point of that was the broker. 16-minute phone call made him $37,000. And the reason why he was able to do that, because when he joined, his model was, I want to talk and I want to only target luxury flippers and builders. Day one, that's what we modeled out: luxury flippers and builders. And my first thing to him was, when you meet this person, don't pitch them, get them on the phone. And that 16-minute phone call made him $37,000 in less than 3 calendar weeks. So I challenge you all with what if? What if every single you investor you spoke to was a convert to this concept? What if every agent that sent you investors for you to help get them funded with a private lender? What if everyone in your direct network, you reached out and said, hey, I know a great private money lender, send them your way? What if everyone in your network's extended network sent you those referrals? What if $37,000 wasn't a stretch? What if that was a bad month for you? What if every deal should be no less than $20,000? I'm asking what ifs, but I'm asking them rhetorically, right? Every what if I just posed is someone's reality. $37,000 for one of our members is a real bad month for them, right? $37,000 for another one is quadrupling their income. What if everything that we're able to show you is as simple as it is? What if every $5,000 referral, or every referral was $4,000, $5,000, $7,000? What if all these things were true, right? I want to challenge you all to say, what would that do for you and your business? What will that, because not only are you positioning yourself to land the business, you still have the ability to position yourself for these investors to be the listing agent of record. So think about it, right? When your customers trust you, you can refer the entire suite of services. Hey, I'm going to refer my title company, insurance company, lender, and most of the borrowers will actually use all of your referrals because you know who your trusted sources are, which means that since they're your trusted sources and they trust you, that means that they're their trusted source. What if every person in your network was referring you business that you converted $4,000, $5,000, $15,000, $20,000, $35,000 at a time? I just want you to ask yourself, what if it wasn't a question? What if that was your operating mode? That's what the Smart Money Blueprint allows you to answer. What if I was able to convert my business or convert my network with a simple connection that paid me every single time? All right. A lot of common questions we get asked. Does my state require a license to broker private or hard money loans? There are some heavily licensed states. There are only about 6 or 7 of them: California, Nevada, Arizona. We have very simple workarounds that allow you to still broker loans in those states. But for the most part, you are not required to have a license. You're not required to do hours. You can literally get off this call and say, I am a broker in the private lending industry, and you are a broker. That's actually kind of shockingly and sometimes scarily how easy it is to become a broker in this industry. How much time does it take to be successful? How much time does it take to become a successful private money broker? How much time does it take to become successful in anything? Your output is going to be a direct result of your input. All right. How do I know what lenders to broker to, and how do I find them? We do all that for you. How do I find investors that need private money loans, and what do I say to them? We walk you through it. No part of this is going to be trial and error. The support system that you get ongoing education, you get dedicated advisors, daily calls where we're hearing, where we're scenario desks where you call us, tell us what you're working on. We'll tell you how to walk through weekly workshops. You get a Smart Start plan that we want you closing loans in your first 30 days, which kicks us off to our 5 loans and 5-day challenge. Simply this: once you go through the education, my goal is for you to have 5 loans in your pipeline in your first 5 working days, right? Working meaning like days that you're actually working this business. I don't want you to learn from everyone else's loans. We want you to learn from the loans that are going to pay you right out the gate, day one. So our 5 loans and 5-day challenge is pretty much, we want you to earn while you learn. Very simply, you can join the education. You can join and just get the education. Some of you are rock stars. Some of you are hearing this, knowing exactly who your network is. Just give me some foundation education. I'm rocking and rolling. That's the silver package for you. For those of you who actually don't want to go through the way I've lived my life for 17 years, sometimes regrettably, and trial and error your way through this, Our Ruby package is essentially everything I just explained, where we walk you through everything, we connect with your customers, we build your foundation, we build your plan out, and we make sure that not a single part of this is trial and error. The gold package is for people who actually want to create a full service lending business where you want your day-to-day to be brokering private money loans. You may want to pivot into something new where this becomes your primary. The gold package essentially builds it all out. So you are stepping into a fully functioning private lending business. And the platinum package is where we actually set up your training, source out your staff, all of that good jazz. So these packages are catered for no matter where you are and what you want to do. This is kind of built out to accommodate each one of you. Smart Money Blueprint. The Smart Money Blueprint is where you come to learn how to broker private and hard money loans. So if anyone is interested, please scan the QR code. It'll take your name, phone, email address, and then we'll email you and just schedule a follow-up call. Again, we want to make sure you understand all aspects of this. We want to make sure we answer all your questions. Follow me on social media as well. Every single day, I'm putting out words of affirmation, tips, tricks, strategies, highlighting success stories, highlighting other people's success stories. The goal is to show everyone how to create a business and doing what you're doing every day. And we have been very successful at it. And I want to make sure you guys are aware of the opportunities. So Larry, I think I want to kind of wrap there, and thank you for, giving me the opportunity to share this.
Absolutely, my friend. And it's funny, one of the first questions was, how much is the referral fee on hard money, right? How much do you get paid? And so, I know that you kind of showed that and stuff already. So is
Right.
the general kind of referral fee and stuff that comes through there, is it generally around 1%? Is that generally on most cases?
1 to 2% is pretty much the industry norm. 1% keeps us competitive. 2% is for the difficult deals that have very creative structuring or a unique product that allows us to charge a premium. So, for example, we were able to charge that borrower 3 points because he's going to spend over 24 months. He's going to spend $580,000 in mortgage payments. We took that away. We said, hey, listen, we're going to roll in mortgage payments upfront day one. So the $580,000 you're not going to pay, we're going to cover, but it's going to cost you an extra point. That's a no-brainer conversation. So
Sure.
for there, we charge a premium there. But we tell people you want to be in the 1 point realm because if it's a standard fix and flip, if it's a standard, rental loan, you want to be competitive. So 1% allows us to charge 1%, 1 point, the broker to charge 1 point, and we're at 2 points. We're still competitive in the industry.
Okay, beautiful. And let's say, we have a lot of folks on this call, right, that are
Mhm.
super busy.
Right.
They may see this opportunity. They may or may not have time to sit down, build out another business on this side. Can they refer you business, right? Is there still opportunities and stuff to work with you on that side by sending business to L&H Capital? And what does that look like?
Unfortunately, Larry, if you send me business, I'm going to pay you anyway.
Okay.
So whether you know it or not, you send me business, I'm going to pay you. And you know why I'm going to pay you even if you don't ask? Because imagine you send me a $1 million referral and I cut you a $15,000 check. What are you going to do the very next time someone comes? Not only that, not only will you be mindful of it, you may actually make it a business model yourself.
And here's the thing, guys. I already knew that because I've already sent business to Adonis, right? And went through this process without actually going through the entire blueprint because I don't need, I don't personally have the time to build another vertical because I have 3 other companies that I'm building right now. But Adonis is great at what he does. So is it that QR code? If people here are like, damn, like I have all of these investors calling on my REO properties and stuff like that, like, let me send them over. So the first step is to kind of set up a call with you and stuff there. And then you guys will figure out ways to do more business, or what's the best way to go about
Yeah.
that?
So even if like trading this as a vertical or kind of going down a smart money blueprint road is not your thing, still send us business. One, because we do have one of the most competitive products in the game. But then two, when you make that referral, even if you don't go down this road, we're going to pay you a referral fee because that's just the model L&H Capital has set up. So if you scan the QR code, the first thing we want to do, though, however, is we do want to do an initial touch base. We want to make sure you understand how to stay attached to your lead, because we don't want you to send business to us that we didn't know that we don't know comes from you, closes, and then you don't get paid, right? So we need to do a call to say, hey, listen, if you want to send business, you don't have to go through the route of creating a vertical, but if you want to send referrals, here's what it looks like. Here's the 2 or 3 steps you need to do. And once you get, set up, here's how you make sure that you are dialed into every referral that you send. You can see their process. You can see their loan going through the process, and you have a full visibility of what's happening with all of your referrals. So either way, we at least need to do just a kind of a kickoff call, just to explain the 5-10 minutes of what the process actually entails.
And the reason I ask you guys this, guys, is because I want you to figure out a way that this fits with your current business plan. Some of you guys that only work with investors, I'm going to be like, man, you should double and triple down with this and get into these masterminds and do this. Some of you guys that just have investors coming through and stuff like that, look, you're not making, like most of those agents are not making anything. What if you could find them a better loan product and you got referral fees and stuff coming through that? This is another vertical that you can implement into there. And this is what it may do, is kind of bridge that gap to build that relationship. And then maybe down the road that you're getting into the smart money blueprint. And then the other part that I really want you guys to focus on, because we've been talking this, our plan is to use these next 4 to 8 years to set up the rest of our lives, right? This is where you guys should be investing. Don't just make everybody else so much money, right? Adonis has 68 homes at this point in time, right? Like, learn how to duplicate that. And as this market corrects, right, you guys are sitting next to this waterfall of deals, and some of you guys are barely getting wet. Some of you guys are bone dry because you guys help everybody else create so much wealth and you don't do it yourself. This is where you need to know those options for yourself. You need to know what options are out there for your clients, because the more value that you add and the more solutions that you guys come with, the more you guys are going to be able to provide at the end of the day. So I want to just highlight that right now, right? Like, that you can refer business, you can go down the coursework and actually learn to make this a whole business integration. You can build relationships, and you should know what these options are for you personally to invest in real estate. 30-year fixed loans on investment properties are not the easiest thing to find, or there's all of these caps and all of these things that you need, etc. So that is why, we're looking to do that.
And the one thing I want to highlight just real quick, Larry.
Yeah.
How I learned to build a rental portfolio so quickly was from one of my customers. How I learned to buy apartments and qualify apartments was one of my customers. Matter of fact, one of my customers actually evaluated my first deal for me. How I learned to create businesses, scale offices was one of my customers. My customers, the reason why I for so long felt I didn't need a mentor, because my customers actually taught me most of the things that I needed to know in growing a business. And it came in casual conversations, touching base on statusing their loans, closing out the deal, congratulating each other for getting the deal done. I would ask them a question, and then they would just educate me for hours. My customers were a lot of my biggest referral resources when I was opening new markets. My customers were my mentors for almost 10 years. So the thing, and that's why you guys, I want to make sure we don't miss every aspect that comes of this. Your customers are going to teach you different strategies that you don't know. Your customers are going to allow you to are going to allow you to earn while they're telling you all the things that they did. Customers will be your biggest resource, and you don't even know it just yet. So I just want to make sure that none of that escapes everyone. Beyond just making money, your customers can be so much to you if you know how to leverage the relationship.
And Natasha just asked, do you loan money nationwide?
Let me give you a quick rundown of our programs.
Okay.
We loan money in 45 states. Our loan programs are designed, we brand new investors up to the people doing $150 million developments and everything in between. Our bread and butter program is our fix and flip program. 90% of purchase price, 100% of rehab, 75% of the after repair value, no mortgage payments, and we will advance the rehab budget to the investor. So when we close the deal, they don't make a mortgage payment for the life of the loan, and we will actually give them their rehab budget in advance. We are launching a 100% financing program that's going to go live in about 60 days. Our landlord programs, no income, pay stubs, W-2s, tax returns, no DTI requirements, literally 660 credit score and a lease agreement showing that the rent makes 20% more, and we're able to fund that deal. Our new construction deal, I mean, we could do no mortgage payments on purchases. Our loan programs are some of the most competitive in the space, which is what allows us to be so successful with the people who join the community.
Hey,
And so
go ahead, Larry. I was just gonna
Well-
ask real quick, Adonis, thank you for this time too. On the fix and flip on the 90%, that's depending on the seasoned
The
investor, right?
experience of the investor, right?
And if
Here's
they're
the
new,
thing.
it's
For you to get
probably
90%,
okay. Go ahead.
so for you to get 90%, you need to have done 3 deals in the last 3 years. For you to get advanced rehab draws, 5 deals in the last 3 years. So we don't need you flipping 30 houses. If you've done 3 deals, your down payment is 10%. If you've done 5 deals, we will advance you to rehab budget. All of which, no mortgage payments.
Got it. Okay, perfect. I just
And
wanted to ask. Thank you.
think about this, guys. A lot of investors invest in your area and also invest around the country. I'm making a guess here, Adonis, but correct me if I'm wrong. Let's say you start doing business with Joe Investor out of California, wants
Yep.
to buy something in Washington, D.C., and uses, L&H funding to buy something in Washington, D.C. And, let's say, Lawrence King, right, is the one that referred that. They're getting a referral fee, whether it's in California, whether it's in Washington or anywhere else, correct?
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
And I want to stress that I'm not exaggerating. That referral that broker made was a 15-minute phone call, and we spoken to him 3 times in those 17 days, where his call was, "How's things coming? Moving along great. Any problems, we'll let you know. Thanks." We probably spoke to him maybe 20 minutes in that 17-day window. So for probably an hour and a half total of his time, he made $37,000. Just that simple.
Beautiful. Any other questions, guys? I know that we're rounding out to the top of the hour, right? You guys all have Adonis's QR code to be able to get time. I see lots of email addresses in here, that want to get it out. I'm seeing in here from Bay, what's the typical pay scale for a referral to a hard money? So what does the agent generally see?
So cool thing is, one, agents on a lot of transactions, you get paid right out from the HUD. I want to stress, this isn't no side dealing. This isn't we'll kind of get crafty. You get paid on the HUD, right? The typical pay I would tell everyone to expect is 1 to 2% of the total loan amount, based on how simple the deal is or how complex the deal is. But that's pretty much industry norm for even just a soft referral. Again, your model may be, listen, Adonis, I don't want to learn. I know a bunch of people, and the best I want to do is connect you and walk away. Plan for somewhere between 1%, 0.75% to 1% for a simple introduction. And the more you do that, the more we will build a model around the simple. Hey, Adonis, I want to introduce you to somebody. 2 weeks later, you're getting your 1%.
Love it. Any other questions, guys? Man, well, that was a lot. I hope all of you guys took a couple of things that you can implement into your business tomorrow. And after seeing that presentation, I don't know how you don't, right? Like, this is where I want you to expand, make more money doing what you're already doing. And I also want you guys to have options for your personal business as well. That is going to be the key for all of us to create massive wealth over this next 4 to 8 years as this market continues to correct, as inventory starts coming onto the market. We're already seeing this. There's some areas in Houston right now with 11 months supply of inventory, 11 months. Right. So it is a buyer's market in that particular area. It's not all of Houston or anything like that, but you're starting to see this. So I want you guys to take advantage of things like this, leverage these types of opportunities. Make sure that you follow Adonis on social media, book some time with him, see what the options are, and see what the best option for you guys is. If you guys need anything, as always, you can reach out to me, call, text, email me, let me know. Adonis, thank you so much for your time. This spurred a number of things in my mind of like, oh man, like we are not leveraging this half as much as we should be with some of those. So you and I will connect and follow up on that. Thank you guys so much. Have a great week, and I will talk to you guys soon.
Thank you.
Thanks,
All right.
Adonis.
Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.
Absolutely.